DoubleClutch.ca magazine acquired one of these for the summertime as a long-term tester. This is the daddy of the Mazda MX-5 lineup, the RF, a retractable fastback. It is the same torquey four-cylinder making 155 horsepower as the base model, but it comes with that power-folding hardtop that I think makes it one of the best-looking cars on sale today. So I'm going to take this out for a quick spin and share my opinions, but then I'm also going to show you a very tempting alternative that costs about the same price.
The MX-5 RF. This is in the GS trim level with the Sport package, which is the middle of the range, but you pay more for the RF, the folding hardtop, or the retractable fastback, and we've got the Sport package, which gives you the important stuff, like Brembos and Bilstein dampers. You also get these really awesome Recaro sport seats, which are half Alcantara and half leather. The point is that the RF has an interior that's far beyond any other Miata. Yes, I know that the NA and the NB generation is much more classic, and I will agree with you. Yeah, I like the look of it. It reminds you of a vintage roadster. However, the RF has a very modern interior, and it's very usable, and it's very comfortable, actually. Everything in here is just like what you need to drive a car every single day. I've got heated seats, I've got air conditioning, obviously. I've got a really nice steering wheel. I've got my mileage read out here, which, by the way, is giving me 7.5 liters per 100 kilometers in the city and the highway combined. That's pretty impressive, and it's read out on a nice little digital display. I have an actual handbrake, and I have what is as good as any Miata chassis ever made. There's nothing in this car that's unnecessary. So what you get is a car that feels as fun as any Miata in the past. Excellent transmission, short, snappy gears. The transmission is right here, so there's no long linkage to flex and bend. Chuck it into a corner like so. Braking, heel toe into second. Turn the car into the corner. Get on the throttle a little bit. Rear comes around, and off you go. And that's literally underneath the speed limit. All that fun. Pretty much no matter what you're doing with it, you're under the speed limit because it's an MX-5. You approach the limits so easily. And as if the car needs it, the Sport package also comes with Brembos, huge brakes in the front. So the point is this car stops very effectively. Now, my biggest gripe with the car is probably the driving position and the steering. There is electric power steering in this, and it seems like no matter what we do, everything is going electric, and we've lost a little bit of the feedback that you get in the hydraulic racks and the non-powered racks of Miatas way in the past, right? So no, it does not quite feel as connected in my hands here, but the sensation of the movement of the chassis is still there, and it is perfect. I have not driven this Miata on a track, but I have driven this Miata on an autocross course when Double Clutch magazine was testing this car in Push It to the Limit autocross series. And I can tell you exactly what this car feels like. All right, it has a tendency to understeer a little bit as you turn into the corner. But since the weight balance is perfect, you can back off the throttle a little bit or use the brakes to shift the weight over the front, and you end up with oversteer, okay? Or just to neutralize the understeer. And then at the end of the day, it's still an MX-5. It's still a roadster. The top goes down. I'm not going to put it down right now because it looks like it might rain. And you end up with just a wonderful cruising car. There's enough space in here. I'm 5'10" and 195 pounds, and I fit in this car comfortably. I've got space here for my arms. The cup holders are kind of a little bit wonky. I've got one down here, and it's detachable, and you can put it over here, and you've got to do this weird cup holder dance to be able to get to it. But other than that, the interior is very usable. Now, the other problem that I have with it is the wind noise. Now, I was kind of hoping that they would sort that out for the brand new one, but they kind of haven't. It doesn't seem to matter where I put the windows, or even if I have the roof up, I'm still getting quite a lot of buffeting. With the windows up and the roof up, I can hear this now right coming from up here, right by my left ear. And if I have the windows down, it's loud. If I have the top down, the retractable fastback kind of piece just is like a scoop, and it catches the wind and it makes a lot of noise. I'm not really sure what that's about, but that's a bit disappointing. But when you have the top down, the wind's flying through your hair, put some tunes on the radio, you stop caring pretty quickly. So, the ND RF MX-5 is a sensational car, without a doubt. I absolutely love it. It's everything that a Miata should be. They resisted the urge to add more weight. They kept the philosophy. It looks fantastic. It's a great car. However, I'm having a hard time getting over the over $40,000 price tag, because for that much money, I could get this. This is a 2014 MX-5. It has a power-attracting hardtop, and no, it doesn't look anywhere near as nice as the ND. However, it costs the same amount of money as the ND, and that's because it has Öhlins and a supercharger. The fact that you have a supercharger means that you put your foot down in pretty much any gear. Oh my God. And it's just ballistically fast. All right, so Dave's garage in Oakville. Dave is a Miata specialist. Dave Biagioni is his name. He did the build and pretty much the install and oversaw the entire project here. And Dave knows how to build a Miata. He has an LS swap Miata that's won many competitions. It's insanely fast, I've been in it. And he was the one that fronted this. I'm going part throttle right now because I think I'm just gonna light up the tires. Oh my God. Oh, what a phenomenal car. Oh my, that is just insanely fast. In the brakes, we've got StopTech brakes on here. Oh my God. What an awesome car. All right, so suspension-wise, we have Öhlins and sway bars. So it is a superior vehicle when it comes to handling, right? There's no competition. It's not even fair, right? We're on proper coilovers, and this has had a corner balance and a proper alignment. So the way that it reacts at the limit or as you approach the limit is better in every conceivable way to the RF. All right, here, going down to second gear, tight corner. Tail's gone, tail's gone. Oh my God. Okay, let's calm down and talk about the car as itself. Okay, the price for this car, all in, including the used purchase, we have 28,000 kilometers on this. So you can get yourself an NC generation Miata with under 30,000 kilometers on it. They bought it for, I think, about 24,000 or 26,000. And then they put pretty much $20,000 into the car, right? So the supercharger install was around 10,000, and then a lot of other performance parts here and there. We end up with a car that costs, as near as makes no difference, the same as the RF. Here's the catch though. This isn't anywhere near as nice to drive. It feels frantic and serious almost all the time, okay? It's almost like it doesn't want to calm down, right? Any gear at any time, power, just there, boom, right? That's nice, but here's the big difference. I have to pay attention when I'm driving this car. Do you understand what I mean by that? That means at pretty much any given time, I have to be going, in my brain, going, how much throttle am I giving it? How much steering lock do I have on? What's coming up? Do I have enough grip for this corner? Because the car feels like with just a flick of the right foot, you're gonna spin off. You're gonna spin off the road, right? For me personally, I'm okay with this. I would own this car because I drive on the track, I like a lot of performance, and this is pretty much exactly what I would want in a driver's car. The steering is hydraulic, so it's better. It's actually not as much better as I remembered it being coming out of the RF, but it's still better, right? This is more of an engaging driver's car. But if you're looking for a car to cruise on the weekends, you know, find a place in the country for lunch, then the RF really is the way to go because it is more refined. The interior is nicer. Like this has the cloth seats. This is like the Club Sport pack. I'm not sure there actually was a Club Sport pack in Canada, but you know what I mean? It says MX-5 here, and it's got some other fancy stuff. It's not really as much of a cruising car anymore. So there's really the conclusion that we're going for. if you want a car to just cruise with, one that you'd maybe, you'd be happy to sit there and sip your coffee and look at in a cafe on the weekend downtown, the RF is the answer because it looks better, it feels more calm, it feels more Miata-like. It feels more classically Miata. If you're looking for a car, though, that you want to drive on the track, you want to be serious about driving with, and you want to explore the limits of what a small, lightweight, rear-wheel drive car can do, then a tuned NC might be the answer.
Just a little bit of a hit.
Edit that out. Edit that out. Whoa! Oh! Take two.
And then here again, steer the outside edge of the plate. So your best is a 128.8.
That's terrible.
Thomas, you are very good on camera.